My daughter came to me at 17 and said she was pregnant. It was a huge shock and I was disappointed. We had safe love talks, I put her on the pill, etc. But we made it through. When my granddaughter was born, I helped my daughter and her boyfriend as much as I could. I was always told that her birth control failed and that's why she got pregnant. Fast forward a year later and they're pregnant once again, birth control failure. I was suspicious but my daughter swore up and down she was taking her pills and I was picking them up from the pharmacy for her, so it shouldn't have been a problem. I guess I wasn't the only one suspicious. Her boyfriend started doing some snooping and one day, I come home to find he's gone. And he took the baby. My daughter is a wreck. I ask what happened. She said that he's accusing her of getting pregnant both times on purpose, is calling her crazy, and wants full custody of both kids. I got her to calm down and asked her a few times if he was right about her getting pregnant on purpose. She finally confessed. She admitted to just not taking her birth control the months she wanted to conceive, and flushing them. I have never been more angry. These pregnancies have caused our family to go into a state of disarray. We had to rearrange our whole lives. I love my grandbaby but life is 10 times harder. I was so angry with her, I told her that she had to go stay with her grandmother for a bit, after calling to see if she'd take her, or if she didn't want to go there, anywhere else. She asked how long a bit was and I said I wasn't sure. It's been a couple of weeks. I know her boyfriend has let her see the baby and they're working out custody, but that's just for my mom. My husband says we should let her move back in but I don't know. I'm so angry with her right now. It was one thing when it was an accident but she did it on purpose. She'll be 19 soon, so legally we don't have to, but my husband feels it's right. He says we can't kick her out over this but I feel like I can't be around her. Everyone's the idiot here, like I get what you did but you should let her move back in. She's the idiot for messing with people's lives like that, the boyfriend is the idiot for taking the kids and you are too for kicking her out. I get it, she screwed up, and you got angry. I think at first it was a good way to punish her, but now you should let up a little bit. You can do whatever, but I don't want to hear you complain in 10 years that your daughter won't talk to you. No idiots here. More importantly, get your daughter some help. Yes, you can legally kick her out. But she's your child. Having 2 children in 2 years as a teenager is indicative of something wrong. She needs therapy, and maybe a mental wellness check. I can assure you that if she leaves home now and relax with someone, the pattern will repeat. No, you wouldn't be an idiot if you kick your daughter. But she's your child and she has a serious problem. Help her. Not the idiot. As much as it doesn't feel right, it seems like your daughter needs to learn some hard life lessons. She lied about her birth control at least once and obviously is not aware of all the hardships these children bring when she isn't self-sufficient herself. Bringing her back into the house, and on your money I'm sure, just reestablishes the fact she isn't acting like an adult with 2 kids, but rather a kid playing mommy. I really feel sorry for all of you guys stuck in this situation. I met my best friend in high school. She had this boyfriend who was bad for her and she never saw it. They were on and off for a few years. After we graduated, she moved in with him. She ended up getting pregnant and then moving to a different state. That didn't work out, so they moved back here. I was still there for her and was still her best friend through all of this. One day, we were hanging out, having a good time. We went to the mall, I bought us both some lunch, and then we went back home. I told her I would be right back as I needed to use the bathroom. While I was in the bathroom, she stole my card out of my purse without me knowing. I came back, and she said she had to go. So I have her a hug, we said I love you, and she left. Later that night, I went to the store to buy some groceries. I went to pay, and my card was nowhere to be found. I thought I must have left it at home. I checked my account as soon as I got home and $300 was missing. There were charges from Victoria's Secret, Target, and some other places I can't remember. I was in shock, and so upset. I texted her, freaking out, and she said I'm so sorry, I'm crying for you. Maybe you left it at the mall? Which I knew I didn't because I bought lunch after we went there and I know I didn't leave it. I told her that, and she said she was going to the mall to look for it. The next day, she told me that she went to the mall, and customer service had my card and gave it to her. Which is obviously crazy, They wouldn't just give someone a card. I knew she was lying at this point and asked if she was the one who took it. She didn't reply for hours and then left me a voicemail telling me she was the one who did it and she was so sorry. I was devastated, and I couldn't believe it. I cried for hours, and after talking to my dad, I decided to call the cops on her. I don't believe stealing from your best friend is something that should be allowed. Especially $300. I don't believe in lying to cover up someone else's illegal actions. It's not right. She was 5 months pregnant at the time. She told me I was an awful person for pressing charges because she was pregnant and trying to get ready for a baby. And that we could have worked it out. I don't feel like I was in the wrong there. We are no longer friends and don't talk. Not the idiot. Stealing is wrong, and against the law, even kindergartners know this. Stealing from a friend? There's just no excuse. If she didn't want the trouble that comes with stealing from a friend and breaking the law, then she should have had the good graces to not do so. I don't know what she expected would happen, though. Even if you didn't twig onto the fact that she stole it, you would have probably contacted the police anyway. I'm guessing at least one of the places she shopped at would have had cameras at the register that would have caught her. Same legal trouble. Everyone's the idiot here. I think pressing charges is a bit much. Is she going to have her baby in prison because of that? She is a bit silly to give the card back at all. She should return the items to the store or return the money to you. I would probably break off that friendship at least for a while, and order new cards for everything. Revamp your security. No idea why she would steal from you, that seems like an odd thing to do. Especially as she is a grown woman and went to a silly store. Not the idiot. Why does it matter if she is pregnant? She committed a crime. I don't know why some people are inclined to give a woman a free pass just for that. I won't be surprised if you get irrational reactions that will try to label you as an idiot, but you are definitely not one. I've heard of people doing ridiculous things like demonizing a partner for leaving their pregnant wife because she cheated on them. Cheated? Don't let yourself be swayed. She owes you $300. I've been married to my wife for almost 7 years now and we have 2 children, one 6 and the other 4. I love her, but she is a bit strange sometimes. She is very heavy anti-corporation/government, you know the type. I will give her credit and say she's very moderate with these views though and not crazy. One of her big beliefs though is with holidays. She still celebrates holidays with the family, Christmas, Easter, etc., but likes to keep them minimalist and not embrace the money side of things. We're not monsters though, we still buy our kids stuff for Christmas and for their birthdays, but we've tried to make them know this is now what these days should be about and that generosity, not materials, should be what we think about. Last year in June my wife told me she doesn't want to celebrate Father's Day. Her reasoning was simple, she wanted our children to respect us every day and not make one day a special occasion for celebrating fathers or mothers. I was a little hesitant, but I agreed and we took the day to try to teach them that. Well, now that Mother's Day is coming around she's changing her tune. All of a sudden she wants me and the kids to take her out for breakfast, buy her gifts, and do other things for her. I obviously told her no, that we didn't celebrate Father's Day and this was her idea, to begin with. All of a sudden she got super upset and is claiming I'm the idiot here. She's now saying we should celebrate both days and that it's unfair to her that we aren't celebrating Mother's Day. We fought about this last night and she's still mad about it. Not the idiot. She's trying to win the argument by getting mad, even though you should be the one that's upset. It's a tough situation because you don't want to stain Father's/Mother's Day like this for the rest of your lives. I would compromise and say that you'll do something small like going out for lunch, but no gifts/favors. That way it's not super unfair to you that she gets her own day after taking yours, and then next year you can both do all the gifts/favors, etc. Everyone's the idiot here, dude. Why are so many people on this sub obsessed with negative reciprocity with their significant others? Sometimes I come here and think I'm the only one with a semi-healthy relationship. In someone else's words, just drop it. Yeah, it's lame that she decided a month after Mother's Day last year that she didn't want to help your kids show you appreciation, but that was 11 months ago. Make it clear it was a little awful, she owes you this year, then give her a kiss and move on. You are the idiot for not allowing the love of your life and the mother of your children a little room for growth. Also, you are an idiot for letting her take something from you and being resentful about it later instead of putting your foot down in the first place and telling her you wanted the day for yourself. Learn to stick up for yourself and what you want instead of playing the tit for tat game. You need to be able to have a conversation with her about why you're hurt and ask for what you want. I, 22, have been with my boyfriend, 30, for a few months now. He moved to England just over 2 years ago. I really like the guy, but he has so many issues regarding English culture/norms and he's making no effort to change them. We went out with my friends for dinner last week at a really popular British chain. 2 of the people we went out with work at other branches of the same chain. We all ate our meals and had a great time, but after we all left, my boyfriend was in a real mood. We were heading to a bar to get some drinks and out of nowhere he just snapped, "I think it's absolutely disgusting that not one of you left a tip. Do you know how much those wait staff earn?" One of my friends who works at another branch said over £8 an hour? A couple of pounds above minimum wage, and he just sulked. When we got home that night he was still moody, and I tried to explain to him that we just don't really tip here very often because the servers get paid hourly. He thinks it's disgusting. He also has an issue with me just being on the pill. In England, people in committed relationships with no transmitted diseases tend to just use one form of contraception. Note, I'm not looking for judgment on whether these norms are right or not, and for me, my preferred one is the pill. He went crazy about this, saying that we have to use other contraception, and where he's from, taking just the pill is begging to be pregnant. He does things like this a lot. There are smaller examples, like getting angry when my brother, who is 18, the legal age to drink here, drinks alcohol in front of him. My sister is at university and he refuses to call it anything but college when college here is something you do before you're able to go to university, and is typical, at least in my part of the UK, seen as something less academic students do. I know that he's being rude and I'm not the idiot for that, but we recently had a fight about it in which I declared if the only thing you like about this country is the free healthcare and that they speak English, you should shut up. Since then, he's been really upset. I don't think he knows how annoying he was. Not the idiot. He's in your country trying to impose his own country's customs on you and your friends. He might personally dislike the way certain things are done, but he's a massive idiot for having a go at people over it. If he doesn't like the way things are done there, he's always free to hop on a plane back to the US. Not to make light of your situation, but I find this a little funny. I'm an American who grew up in England, and some of the things your boyfriend has issues with, I hate over here in the States. Homeboy needs to appreciate cultural diversity and the things you guys do better over there. Not the idiot. At first I thought maybe it was a cultural shock, but it has been 2 years. Honestly, I think those are red flags, as it seems he's arguing just to argue. If he were trying to adapt to the culture or the differences, you'd think he'd have tried by now. Are there any reasons that he may miss home? I'm not saying it justifies his actions, but maybe he just moved without thinking through how much he had back home or if he'd missed the social norms. Not the idiot. I'm Canadian and I've moved to England. There are quirky differences and sometimes you joke about them, the tipping and low drinking age, but I'd never expect everyone around me to act as if we lived in Canada or the USA. Why bother living in another country if you want them to conform to your home country's standard? This is particularly bad given how old he is. Lord, he sounds immature as hell. I sprained my ankle 10 days ago, only 5 days before my daughter's wedding. It was really, really bad. Like so bad that just walking to the bathroom even with crutches is intensely painful and difficult. I thought that possibly I would be better by my daughter's wedding, but on the day before I realized, there was just no way I would be able to go. I would be a burden on absolutely everyone and the chances of me falling down and making a disaster of myself were too high. I thought people would understand. After all, my daughter saw me in the hospital and was super worried. Instead, basically, everyone is super angry at me. My ex-wife was basically screaming at me over the phone, telling me to man up and get on my feet and go. My sister was telling me that she sprained her ankle and was fine soon after. I remember that. It wasn't nearly as bad of a sprain. My daughter apparently was incredibly sad but said it was okay because she knew I was in pain, but then, later on, was apparently upset with me. My son just said he was very, very disappointed that I couldn't just handle the pain and go. I think I got like 15 calls and a bunch of texts saying I need to go. Oddly enough, the only person who understood was my son-in-law, who texted me saying that he understood why I didn't go and he's sorry everyone was being mean to me. He got someone to record a bunch of videos of the wedding to send to me, which was sweet. I can barely even walk on it. Like at all, even with crutches it's incredibly unstable and really painful. With the crutches, I still have to lift the leg, which causes the ankle to go into extreme pain because it's holding my foot in the air. I don't even know what I can possibly do to tell them how horrible this is for me. They all already know. They saw me in the hospital and it had only been 5 days since then. It's not like I could have gotten a wheelchair on such short notice, and even besides that the wedding was on a beach with stairs leading to it. I understand being upset I couldn't go, but it feels like everyone is specifically blaming me for this as if I have any control over this. They all think I should have just removed the pain and gone. From what I can recall, neither my wife nor my son has ever had any kind of mobility injury like this. It's not the type of thing you can just remove. It's literally an impossibility for me to do most things. You are the idiot. Your daughter only gets married once, hopefully. Rent a wheelchair. I understand it was the beach, but surely, for the dad of the bride, they could have come up with some solution. A wagon? A sled? Anything. Also, hospital for a sprained ankle? I think you're being a bit overdramatic. My dad cut his thumb off on the day of and made it to my graduation and my sister's graduation, which were on the same day in 2 different locations. I'm sure you could have managed to sit in a wheelchair. Not the idiot. Pain is pain. It sounds like Op explored all options that wouldn't further risk his health. The beach was inaccessible due to long stairs and lack of wheelchair availability. I fractured my ankle and was 0 weight for months. Missed family holidays because of it. They were okay about it. Don't dismiss pain just because of a wedding. Or because it's a man. All of you talk about powering through pain when based on this description it could have made the sprain much worse. You are the idiot. I would rather suffer several hours of awful pain than miss one of the most significant and important days in my daughter's life. The pain is temporary, but that event is something you'll never be able to make up for. I would have suffered through it. I understand there were complications with using something like a wheelchair due to the location, but I agree with if there's a will then there's a way.